had died there, because I'd be like, "There's no way."
Yeah,
exactly.
Hit by a fucking train car and lives.
Well, it hit the rock in front of me and then like fell over on top of me. So.
I mean, that would still kill you.
Oh yeah, no, and it did. Like, here, I'm actually taking cover this time. Spooky! It's so spooky.
I'm surprised you didn't just. How did you do that?
Yeah, I don't know how I survived that one. And thank God your health regenerates slowly. Like, otherwise I would die so many times.
It doesn't even seem like it regenerates very slowly either.
Well, it regenerates slowly as compared to.
How would you living for getting your head hit by a train?
Also, can I point out that we have a horror game that has regenerating health?
Yeah, exactly. Spooky.
Oh my god, that thing hurt me, and now I'm fine again.
Health in video games in general is just kind of an interesting subject to think about.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gotta pick up more lithium batteries, you know?
Yeah.
Like in Resident Evil, how the hell were those herbs supposed to stop the bleeding?
Well, yeah, you have to, I mean, at some point you have to consider it's a video game, but like...
I'd like to point out that this is what this game considers a challenging puzzle. I need a key. I go to the only other place where there is a building. I find the key.
Again, I guess it's like, it's the same reason everything else happens. It adds like 30 seconds extra to the game.
Exactly.
And they had to add no extra assets.
Here I'm trying to like close this, and no, just
Just flop around.
Why don't you take that lantern?
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, and here's one of those instances.
Anything outside of riding is a struggle. I feel ill. I managed to make my way downstairs. There's a shoebox filled with books and papers by Thomaszane. It's very hard to focus, but I managed to read some of it. He's a poet, and a good one. He writes of muses and creators summoning fabulous things from a magic lake, using his powers to shape the world of a realm of gods and dreams and demons, dark things that wait for a chance to slip through, wearing the flesh of men as disguise. Zane writes about himself, his girlfriend being taken over by a dark presence, about growing scared of the lake. Zane believes it's a mirror to the gaping void of darkness above, where some Lovecraftian presence lurks. I crawl back upstairs. I'll borrow these things from my story. They ring true. They fit.
So these sections where you're watching yourself on the television are the best narration that occurs in the entire game. And if you only had that as like the way you got your plot information, it would be fantastic.
So like,
true, yeah.
You know,
Alan
this...
just shut up while we were talking, while he was walking.
Exactly.
This also reminds me of a controversy that, well, I guess not controversy, but drama that happened when this game came out. And I guess I'll ask something kind of spoilery. Is there still an ad for the Dodge Charger in this game?
I didn't find one. I knew that it existed, but I didn't find one. There are later billboards that very clearly say Verizon on them. So, yeah, there's a lot of product placement in this game. You pick up
the fucking lithium batteries. The Energizer lithium batteries.
You pick up Energizer lithium batteries. I'm trying to remember what else there is. There's a few other things like that. Also, the interesting thing that I found or realized while watching the those videos of Alan talking to himself, the camera that he's looking at is the fucking moose head that's in the goddamn study. So if there's an actual camera there, or if it's just a fucking supernatural moose head that's watching him the entire time. Like, that's horrifying.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
It's so cool. And it's one of the few things that's like super subtle about this game because everything is so blatant.
Yeah. Oh god, I'm sorry. My mic just fell over into my arm.
No.
I just might in your arms tonight.
Actually, I think there's a part coming up where I just...
Birds!
Oh, it's the birds. It's the birds again.
I like that you can burn them with the lights.
Yep.
Oh, you have to fight them.
Yeah, that's the only way to beat them. Oh shit! You gotta love scripted danger.
Yeah.
Danger is my band
And
name.
I fucked up.
Oh god! There you go.
Way to go.
Should-
Way to go,
should just
Sam. Way to
stayed there
drop
forever.
down that cliffside.
Yeah, exactly.
Just decided to live a new life on the cliff face.
Yeah,
Birds.
I'm done fighting bugs. I'm just gonna.
Darkness can come to me, goddammit.
I'm prepared on this cliff face.
And one of the other things that's really good about this game is the music. The soundtrack is fantastic.
Yes. Yes.
Even the ambient music that occurs, like not even the stuff that where you get actual lyrics and stuff. It's so good.
Yeah, no,
When you
it's...
do get actual lyrics, it's from Poe.
Yeah, the first one's from Poe. There's 2 songs that are by a group called Poets of the Fall that are really good. One of them, I won't spoil anything, but one of them is really good. And I think there's a David Bowie song at one point.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's. Oh no, I remember when it happens, so I won't say anything about it because it's a bit spoilery.
Oh, that's why that exists.
Mhm.
So if you, I was gonna ask this at the end, and I'll probably ask it again, but right now, without being as spoilery as possible,
Mhm.
where do you think this game missteps the hardest?
It missteps. I mean, it's in
Oh.
the combat and it's in the narration. There's a lot of stuff about this game where if it was just more subtle, it would be really good. And I think the length really, really drags down the game. But to be fair, there also isn't a point where I just was like, "What? This is dumb. What the hell?" Because it keeps to a pretty good logic. It has a fairly coherent story, and while it may not be the best written thing, it's also not god awful.
But in some
agree with
ways, that can just be like worse.
Yeah, and it is. There are parts of this game that are absolutely disappointing, but I was never like enraged at how stupid the game was.
Right, yeah. It seems like one of these things where, like, at every step you could see how this could have been a much better game.
Exactly.
And that's sort of the most disappointing thing about it.
Exactly. All right.
Manuscript Page.
Even behind the closed doors and curtains of his grimy room at the Majestic, the local motel, Nightingale could feel the locals' eyes on him, the unrelenting pressure of their judgment. He forced it out of his mind. For all he knew, they could all be under Wake's spell already. You do what you have to do to get the job done. He took comfort from the bottle in his hand. Please, he thought, just let me get through this.
Jeez.
Oh no, sneaky rocks.
Oh shit!
Oh no, more possessed inanimate objects.
So, that could have been a really cool sequence. Instead, it just set up an arena combat.
Dang it. Dang it.
Yeah, it seems like that could have been cool if it was like you had to run from the mine as it collapsed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you jump in a mine cart and you have to drive the mine. No, wait.
Wait a second.
That's probably how it would have happened.
Yeah, exactly.
How many damn flares do you
So
have?
in a way, this game is like bacon popcorn.
Yeah, that's pretty
It's
true.
not, it's not very good.
It's not terrible, so you can't like tell all your friends how terrible it is, but it's not even really that great. So you just get this disappointing meh kind of thing. that
Well,
you're not really
I would argue it's definitely better than meh, and the game definitely has some parts where it's like, holy shit, that's really impressive. But then there's also stuff where it's just like kind of a little mediocre.
Yeah, it's good enough that it raised your expectations and set a higher
Mhm.
bar for itself that it then repeatedly failed to clear.
Exactly. Also, I'd like to point out how crazy creepy it would be if we had to navigate our way through a coal mine, or a silver mine, I guess, with, just a flashlight in the dark, except it's well lit.
Yep.
We have an objective marker the entire way,
Yeah.
and it's completely linear.
Yep.
Maybe the machinery
So I
can
guess I
help
should
with
say a more apt comparison would be like, this game is how I feel about Silent Hill Downpour.
Yeah, and
Huh.
I would say it's definitely executed a lot better. It for sure has a more coherent story than Downpour does.
Also, I guess this is another example of an Alan Wake puzzle.
Yeah.
Go
You
push a
press-
button and move
push
an
a button.
elevator.
Move an elevator in the one direction, and then, go to the next part, push the next button.
Really, that
the
was my
elevator.
least favorite of their albums.
This is the only part where I was a little confused because I didn't see what it was trying to do.
What was it trying to do?
Oh, the puzzle itself was communicated badly, so I was like, wait, now what? But I figure it out in about 2 seconds. You just gotta jump and do platformer shit.
Yeah.
Platformer!
Stephen King inspired.
And did you hear the part in Carrie where she had to? I don't even know where the fuck.
Take
I'm going.
cover under chest high walls,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know where the fuck I'm going with this.
which is a euphemism for
I like the part in Carrie
Growing up.
where she. I like the part in Carrie where they dumped the blood on her, and then she then lifted all of these pallets, and then the student body had to jump between them.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, man, can this is
Monologued about her evil intentions.
just yeah. And also that just reminds me that fucking viral ad for Carrie was
Yeah,
amazing.
dumb.
I liked it. I really thought it was cool. I thought apparently the movie was shit, but I really thought the viral
yeah.
ad was pretty good.
What was the power ad?
There's a girl in a coffee shop that like some guy starts harassing her. It was a hidden camera thing. So there's like they set up this whole thing. There's this girl in a coffee shop. This guy starts harassing her, and she tells him to like leave her alone. And after a while, she yells, "Leave me alone!" And then the guy's like hoisted up on some cables that people in the coffee shop can't see. So he's like thrown against the wall.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Did you? Yeah. I'll add it in an annotation or put it in the doobly-doo.
Nice.
no, you won't.
You hear that, internet? You get annotations and doobly-doos.
I've put whenever I've said I've put something, I'm gonna put something in annotation. I've done it.
Excuse me. Okay, annotation. All right, then never mind. I can't call you out on this.
What did you think?
Manuscript
When we were playing the fat girl dating sim, I specifically asked you to put a MIDI.
I tried to
the
put
song
it
in there.
Yeah, where was I gonna
You
put
did
it?
not.
The section. Where was I gonna put it? The section you wanted me to put it in is 3 seconds long, and this song is at least 3 minutes.
All right. Lightning flashed behind the windows of Cauldron Lake Lodge. Tor Anderson laughed and held the steel hammer above his head. Nurse Sinclair was trying to calm him down without success. Tor grinned madly and shouted, "My hammer's up! Here's a friendly poke from Mjolnir, wench!" He brought the hammer down with all his might on Sinclair's head. "We're on a comeback tour, baby!"
Also,
What?
Sam, I believe it's pronounced Mjolnir.
Mjolnir? Mjolnir?
The hammer of
Whatever.
Mjolnir.
Yes. That's the first
Meow, meow.
glimpse of
Yes, meow,
one of
meow.
the characters in this game that gets introduced in the next episode, who is, along with his brother, the greatest characters in this game.
Oh man.
And here's where I say,
They
fuck
introduced already?
stairs. Yes, they're the two old biker guys
Yeah.
that we meet in the diner. And then I say, nope, can't fuck stairs, gotta go back
Can't
up.
fuck stairs, no vagina.
I mean, it's true. Stairs ain't got a thing to put your penis in.
They're slats.
Sometimes they do. They got knot holes, you know.
Stair slats.
Do you really want to do that?
I mean,
Put it in my slat.
you've got enough.
Damn it,
If you
stop
got enough
saying
lube, you can
slat.
fuck anything.
Sam, I think it's less that you can and more like, would you? Like,
Slap me up.
I don't know,
Like-
Nate. What are the pros and cons of fucking a table?
I'm just saying, like, at what point do you you realize that you have a problem and that you need to seek help from some group therapy about being a sex addict?
Look, I'm just
And
gonna.
it's the point when you start looking at a table and being like, I would fuck the shit out of you.
I don't think it.
Haven't we all been to a point in our life where we just honestly wanted to fuck a table?
No. No, we haven't. You have a problem, Matt.
Oh man,
Also,
I have another
man, I think
happens
the
to us in
only-
this cable car.
I think I'm the only person who I've never texted that line to. Also, I realized that there is kind of a save point system.
What the?
Even if they're-
Yeah,
It's
all the safe haven lights are checkpoints.
yeah, but that's what they're called.
Yeah. There's where I try to be clever and drop a flare on the platform with me, and it just falls through the bottom of the fucking
Oh,
frozen Fuck you, birds. These things are the hardest fucking things to fight, I swear to
Yeah,
God.
because it's a giant cloud of shit.
Mm-hmm.
It is so hard to fight a swarm.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Trees!
Discuss
Oh, no.
ideas in the cable car. When the candy
Oh, no.
comes between.
Did you guys...
So bad.
Oh, no.
So bad.
Oh no!
It was then that I realized.
And he's fine.
It was then I realized everyone was telling me I was in over my head. Over my head. You kill them as they're fucking being introduced.
Oh,
I love the flare gun more than the
Flashbang?
The flashbang. Because the flashbang just everything just disintegrates. The flare gun, you see everything fly away.
You get cinematic kill cams.
Yeah, Also, why did that?
where is all this shit coming from?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The dark.
There is actually an answer for that, surprisingly.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, you find out later. I won't spoil it.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a guess and say it's the darkness.
Well, yes, it is the darkness doing it, but there is a place where it is coming from.
Is that place also the darkness?
No.
Is the darkness not just a person or thing, but also a place? Right.
A state of mind.
I thought that was a keg for a second.
Yeah.
Totally.
I think coming up is one of a really cool set pieces in this game that I really, really, really enjoyed. But I think I have to fight a billion dudes to get there first.
Damn it. Of course you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Did he just roar at you like a tiger?
Yes.
I like how the animation of you getting hit by these guys is one frame.
Mm-hmm.
So they hit you when you're just totally off to the left, hit you again totally off to the right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no,
It's really dramatic sway.
It's like they almost stun lock you in a way because you cannot you physically cannot respond.
Oh shit.
I like how the camera clipped through a bush.
Yeah.
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 That was really great framing, guys.
Yep.
Also, that's another thing, that this game has, long, protracted, AAA action sequences, but yeah, at the same time, they made Alan Wake have, this long animation whenever he gets hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that's from a horror game, and it's also supposed to punish you for getting hit by, making it harder to fight things. But then you have to keep fighting things.
Yep.
It really discourages combat, and then it's based around combat.
And then you have to you have to continue with the combat. You can't run from the combat.
Yeah.
So I will say that there are sections that I do enjoy, during the time between set pieces, where there were a few of them that happened. I think they only happened once. I really liked it, where you had like a big slog of enemies that you had to go through, and like then there was a long span of time between pieces of light.
Yeah.
And then you finally get to that piece of light, and then it flickers out, and it's just like, what? No, fuck!
Yeah, but the interesting thing I noted is that it stops doing that. There actually stops being instances where the safe havens troll you. It only happens that one time, and I don't know why.
I'm guessing
Also,
because
this was the most predictable thing.
Oh no.
Oh no, they're coming for
Oh
me.
no.
Oh, I thought something was going to start cutting the ropes.
Exactly, but no, they just block my exit, and I have to kill them.
And yeah, I guess, and
I'll say that isn't the most predictable thing, because the most predictable thing would be if they started cutting the ropes.
Yeah.
and
That was the second most predictable.
oh man, good thing this flare is not burning anything.
How
Exactly.
did that not fall through the slats?
Exactly.
Yeah. But one of the things, I think the whole thing about the safe haven just going out is that's one of the rare cases where they realized something about pacing and horror and how
Exactly.
everything you do is a one-trick pony.
Well, and it's amusing that it happens so early in the game. You know,
Yeah.
And it's actually really well placed because you've got a couple of instances where you can run to the safe haven, trigger it, and then the enemies that you're fighting disappear for a moment until you go back out of it and re-trigger them. And so you learn to trust them, and then it's that one instance where
Yeah.
it just totally fucks with you.
It plays with your
And
it
it was a
plays with your
really great
expectations.
part. I really thought that part was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And like your reactions to it were wonderful. Like you kind of screamed. You're like, what? No, fuck!
Yeah, it was great. I really appreciate it. But then they don't ever try and do anything like that again.
Well, again,
like even to change the formula a bit. Like it's just.
So another thought is that this game was probably supposed to be a lot shorter.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. There are sections where there's just no reason for it to exist.
Well, then
Like,
what's
pretty
the
much-
point of making it longer?
Yeah,
Because
pretty much
people-
all of episode 3 is just wasting time.
And also, Amanda, the reason that people make games longer is so they can say their game is X hours long because people like to value their game in cost per hour.
Mod had checked all of Stucky's rental cabins. There had been no sign of the Wakes. It was dark when he'd found their car parked at the end of the road by Cauldron Lake. It made no sense. They must have taken a wrong turn, but there was no sign of them, and the car had been there for hours already. Frustrated, Mott stood on the rotten ruin of the footbridge that had once led to Diver's Isle before it sank beneath the waves years ago. The boss wouldn't be happy. So Mott is the kidnapper, and he clearly works for somebody.
Mott is also it's too bad, he started making applesauce and then his life just went.
I knew you were gonna make an applesauce reference.
I was actually
going
gonna try and make a reference to ancient Egyptian mythology, but I can't remember what god Mott is.
It's also spelled with an A, isn't it?
It might be.
Ancient Egyptian god.
I knew it.
Just
I wish it was pronounced Matt.
yes, rider kick. I like to point out
Rider kick.
that in half. Oh, this is it. This is the really cool set piece. So we've got this abandoned house, super creepy looking, really nice environment work.
Is it going to disappoint us in some way?
No. I promise you it does not. There's only one place we can go, and it's down into the basement.
All right.
We got
I'm
a
following you.
cellar door.
I'm with you.
I was gonna point out that Alan Wake kicks so hard that he kicks these doors in half.
Yes. So, I miss you, Tom, CL, and TI. You talk to me on TV, Tom.
Wow.
I miss you, Tom. Did you write this? Tom. I curse you, Thomas Zane. Tom.
Oh my god.
And that's it.
Wow.
It's so good.
It's so awesome.
I had to come back down here like, this is fucking incredible.
You know what would have made it better? If you had to fight like 30 monsters.
Yeah.
Shut up, Matt.
But I don't think you know what better is.
I don't know what I was gonna say. Award-winning commentary.
We're so professional.
What awards did we win?
All of them. What
Somebody give
award?
us
What award did Ruby win? We won that one. We
Exactly.
won award for best Let's Play channel on YouTube.
Now, we do have to fight people here, but that was honestly pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Good instance. It's a pretty okay arena fight. It had a lot of time in between the last fight and this one. It's a good set piece. I really liked this part.
That is really cool.
And you know, I'm guessing a lot of the good parts of this game are this also fits into the idea that maybe this was supposed to be like a 5 or 6 hour long game
instead of like a 10 or 11 one.
Yeah, they just wanted to make it AAA, and AAA games need to be like 15 to 20 hours long at least. Well, 15 to 20 hours long because, you know, 30 to 40 hours people won't play that.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's got time for a role-playing game?
You know what else is also good about it? It's not like a million pine trees and rocks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's actually it's
full busted up home.
Yeah,
it's got implied story here.
Yeah, in a very sort of misery way.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it seemed like there was a pretty good.
On the note of all the trees and whatnot, like it was a nice. It was a nice change of pace when when we first like got here and whatnot, like of a horror game that's set in like the hills and has you know all these wooded areas. But I will say the hills and wooded areas and whatnot have gotten repetitive.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely not being used to its full advantage because you know nature at night is terrifying.
It's fucking crazy creepy.
It's not all trees and birds.
Well, but also like
honest.
Everything's well illuminated. It's this, you know, the fog is, you know, there's ground fog everywhere, but you can see, you know, hundreds of yards in front of you. It's not like your vision is restricted.
It's not very dark at all.
No, it's really not.
It's one of those. I mean, it's one of those things where people.
I dreaded what I would find.
All right. I tried to hold on to Alice, but her form melted away. I was losing control. Dr. Hartman stood in her place. I wanted to hit him, but my arms were jelly. He smiled. It was a reassuring smile, and I hated him for it. I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. We went through another rough period. Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode. You're a patient at my clinic. Have been for a while now.
Oh.
Huh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Story, suddenly.
Suddenly plot.
So,
that is about to happen.
But yeah, one thing that's been talked about a couple of times is just this whole as graphics and stuff get better, horror games get worse because people spend a lot of time modeling monsters, and when you spend like 100 hours making this thing, you want everyone to see it. But the problem is that horror is about implying there's a monster there, and sometimes showing it right at the end. It's something that's very well constructed on a very tight budget, and when you give it a lot of money to work with,
for some reason I paused right here. I don't know why.
Well, when you give it a lot of money to work with, suddenly it gets a lot worse.
All right, about high horror budgets or high budgets in horror games.
Yeah, which I'll talk after this.
Yeah, we've got a cutscene now, and actually, we had a manuscript page about this. Dives for the flare, lights it, and plunges into the waters of the lake.
Holy hell!
Jesus, that was a little crazier than I expected. Also, that would have broken his neck.
Yes.
Look, there's a lot of things that happen in this game that should kill him.
Yes.
And also, that flare went out instantly.
Yeah, it should stay on at least for a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it should just stay on. It has enough things to keep burning. You can light a flare underwater.
Yeah, I mean, like, eventually it would burn out, but...
Yeah, but not for like 3 or 4 hours.
What the...
So that's the end of episode 3. So, unfortunately, episode 3 gets not great. I don't know. It starts. This is the episode that starts with us going to visit Rose in the trailer park.
Yeah.
And we get chased by the FBI and chased by the police, and then we have to go through the woods and get to the kidnapper. Except, the kidnapper doesn't end up being at the place we were at, and then we have to chase him down, and then he ends up getting sucked into the black hole of the tornado, and then we end the episode. Like it's pretty much all filler material, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Except for the one cool thing.
Yeah, except for the one cool set piece. It's pretty much all filler material. So now the next episode is really fucking awesome. I'm a big fan of episode 4.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's
So
do
is
it.
this kind of the point where the
Would
game
you say that
gets better?
episode 4 is A New Hope for Alan Wake?
So mad about what you just said.